Heidi Hody. Elizabeth Diamond here, the Diamonds Forever 3113 show here on the Diamonds Network. This show tonight's hosted by me, Elizabeth Diamond, and the Diamonds Network thought about me. Candy founded the name, but we all are working together, all of us so far, and we're doing a good job, everybody. Keep smiling, keep being happy. Tonight is August 8th, 2016. We're going to have a great show. Candy bring in some updates of what's going on around in the world and what we can look forward to. And I'm going to bring a little bit. And tonight's the Lionsgate, so I can't wait to hear Cynthia, all what's going on in the energy here that we can work with even more as we get the knowledge of it and understand it through Cynthia and all of us here on the Diamonds Network. So welcome, everybody. Benjamin Fulford is up. You can find that on the blog for the Diamonds Network. It's Diamonds with an S, Forever, 31.blogspot.com. And those of you that listen to the YouTube, you'll see that on the YouTube channel. So please give back energy and kind. Share these shows. It'd be great. I'm having page views from all over the world. The other day, last week, Russia was in the top one page view on the Diamonds Network Energy on the blog. It's usually United States and Canada, but we had Russia and countries I haven't seen before. So let's keep spreading the love, you guys. All right, so let's bring on Candy to do the candy jar part, and I will join in a little bit. And Candy wants to play a little bit about a Benjamin tonight, Benjamin Fulford, which I've been following for a long time. He's one of the strong legs to help encourage us, inspire us throughout this transition and change. But first of all, Candy, I wanted to ask you, in 2 or 3 or 4 sentences, why do you think the Benjamin Fulford report? Just bring out a little summary of what you're going to play, what the importance of it is.
Well, certainly, Elizabeth. Welcome, everybody, to the Candy Jar segment. The Galactics have kept sharing with us that they're going to work on making this a smooth transition. And before, a lot of people were talking, even the Galactics months ago, that there would probably be a need to cancel the elections and let Paul Ryan and General Dunford be in charge of establishing real, honest elections. But it appears that they have gotten a lot of success with what Bernie Sanders' group and Trump group has been doing. They've gotten a lot of people forced into resigning from the DNC. And so we might actually have an honest election. And so the Galactics and General Dunford will probably let that move forward. And that is what Benjamin Fulford is talking about tonight, that, yes, good guys in the government are going to make sure that Obama doesn't declare any kind of martial law and do things that would, upset the folks. So that's part of why I wanted to play the whole thing, because it's to me it's kind of a shift, but an affirmation too that things are going to move forward, but move forward smoothly somehow. Elizabeth.
Absolutely, Candy. And we'll just do a little, play it 30 seconds. We'll do a sound check. And also what you sent me, Candy, email from David Wilcock. He had a conference, and at the last minute before he did the conference, he let loose of what he was going to talk about in that conference. And it was a lot I think of research that he did for his book that's coming out here in August, that he couldn't put in but a synopsis of it. And to me, I listened to half of it. To me, it's a lot of galactic history. He traced it back from beings that came before even Egypt, and those beings are part of Egypt, and then forward to today. And it may be new information but my perspective, it's all the bits and pieces that I have researched. What he said, it was the same story. I was able to put those bits and pieces together, and he was able to put those pieces together. And so things are, I think Cynthia said the word earlier, a culmination, maybe. Maybe she'll talk about that tonight. So, yeah, let's do it, Candy.
Well, that is just great. I appreciate that you pre-ordered David Wilcock's book for me. I'm looking forward to it arriving any day now that it is August 2016, the release date. And I've been invited to do a local show. If anyone is in the area, I will be making a presentation on David Wilcock, his book, and the Diamond Network in Joplin, Missouri on September 9th at 6:30 p.m. If anybody would like to contact me about the details, my email is key2truth@yahoo.com. And before we get into Benjamin, I want to briefly give a plug for my Candy Shop show on Wednesday. This week, I'm going to have a returning guest speaker, Carrie Star Ellis. Carrie's book is 21st Century Superhuman. And, of course, she knows a lot about the Keshe miracles and from the Keshe Foundation.org and a whole lot of things about the ETs and stuff. It's going to be a really great show. We'll start at this channel an hour later on this coming Wednesday.
Oh, and let me put a plug in for last Wednesday's show. That should be up on YouTube today or tomorrow. Oh, you guys can't miss it. Boris Gonzalez Starseed with Candy on the Candy Shop show. Oh, he brought a lot of encouragement and perspective and balance he will bring into your heart with that show. Be sure to listen to it and pass it around. Thanks.
Right, and I got to pull out some information about how Spanish-speaking populations throughout the northern and southern hemisphere look at these issues and pass this around to your Spanish-speaking friends. Okay, here we go. Benjamin Fulford report, August 9th.
Please open line. Discern this in all information. August 9th, 2016. Has Air offer ASEAN, Japan, and Korea to China. Posted on benjaminfulford.net. But
how would that sound, Elizabeth? This is being copied from benjaminfulford.net. Would it sound okay?
When you first started playing it was good, but then it's in the bend of the phone. Angle the phone just a little bit more, like the phone is talking to the speaker.
Okay.
Benjamin Fulford.
There.
An official who reports to China, President Xi Jinping told a representative of the White Dragon Society last week that Hillary Clinton had on.
Did I lose you guys, or did she drop? I think Candy dropped. Are you there, Cynthia? Everybody else is here.
Yeah, I'm here. I think she dropped.
Okay. Well, she's coming back. I want to, if you guys remember.
I'm coming back. I've never been dumped like that. This must be really important that they would do that.
Okay, good. Whatever you did to bend the phone the second time, you could hear it.
Clinton also told the Chinese that a sharp war with the U.S. military would be needed to put this plan in place and establish China as the world's #1 superpower. For this reason, China supports Clinton, the official said. The WD's representative told the Chinese that Hazarian gangsters like Hillary tell people what they want to hear but always betray them as soon as they get a chance. He was also told that no matter how many times the U.S. military ran simulations of an all-out war with China, the result was always 90% of the world's population dying in the northern hemisphere of the planet becoming uninhabitable. It was further explained to the official that, according to British intelligence, when George Bush Sr. went fishing with Vladimir Putin in 2007, he invited Putin to join a plot to destroy China. The scenario Bush painted was for the U.S. and Russia to start a new Cold War. This would give Russia, the U.S., Europe, and Japan an excuse to rearm. During this Cold War, Russia would pretend to be China's lover. In the end, Russia, Japan, and Korea would all attack China and divide it into 6 countries so that China would never rise to be a threat to Western power. The official was also told that Clinton was part of the Bush Nazi mafia, so whatever promises she was making were only to buy time and get money from the Chinese so that they could carry out this plan. As a result of this conversation, the Chinese official agreed China should not support Clinton. The other thing the Hazarians did was to force their puppet, the Emperor of Japan, to announce his resignation on August 8, an auspicious day for China. The Chinese were told this was to get Crown Prince Naruhito on the throne so he could help with the plan to unite Japan with China. Naruhito is married to Masako Iwata, who is the daughter of Rockefeller's slave and World Court Judge Hisashi Iwata. Again, the Chinese were told this was the Hazarian attempt to bribe China by offering to hand over their puppet government in Japan. Furthermore, the imperial family would never willingly accede to such a plan, and so it was just a Hazarian lie. The emperor is resigning because of poor health and because he does not want to get involved in the ongoing fight over the gold bunkers in Japan. In conclusion, the WDs explained very clearly to the Chinese this was a Hazarian trick designed to fool the Chinese into war with the U.S. The WDs and the Chinese also discussed the future of the U.S. dollar and the global financial system. The Chinese delegate said China's plan was to replace the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin. He said the recent hacking of Bitcoin was a setback to this plan, but that a new generation Chinese supercomputers would be powerful enough to keep Bitcoin secure. The WDs told the Chinese a more viable plan was for China to make a big move to take over the existing international U.S. dollar infrastructure and have the United States issue a separate new currency of its own. Pentagon sources, for their part, confirm U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew is pushing for the launch of a gold-backed international currency to replace the U.S.
We lost you again.
Okay. Wow.
Boy, that's interesting. They broke her off twice.
Yeah.
That lets you know it's a big deal, huh?
Yeah.
It's amazing how they let us know.
They're giving too big a clues. You guys flunked.
Well, that's what their job is, really.
Yeah.
I think their job is to break our hearts because we're brought up to, to believe, well, you can love your family and you can love these kind of people. Well, we can't love those. And you can love this religion but not that one. And we just, we swallow it hook, line, and sinker as little kids. You know how kids are. Yeah. And by having all our hearts broken, that structure that we are taught to put around our love, like you can love these but not these, you can love this kind of music but not that, you can love these kind of clothes but not that, you can love these kind of religious thoughts but not those, that whole structure of conditional love gets shattered in the face of evil, and I think that's how we can give thanks for it, because we've all been so completely shattered, just so shattered. It's almost, it's just, it's like almost infinite being shattered. And that shatteredness gives us the heart of God. It gives us the heart of the Bodhisattva.
And we can be grateful for evil, because evil spelled backwards is live. Life.
That's right. It teaches us what not to do.
Mm.
It teaches us what doesn't support life.
Yes.
Well, listen, ladies, I'm back.
Yay!
Okay. Continue playing it, Candy.
Shall I continue playing it? So you hear the
if that's what you planned, if that's what you planned, you finish what you planned.
Okay, but I wanna interject in case I get jumped again, because I this must be awfully important that they're jumping. They're bumping.
That's what we were just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, $63 million was stolen from the Bitcoin website.
When?
What? Say that again.
Yes. Last week, hackers got into the Bitcoin computer system, which was supposed to be, infallible, and they got
Hold on. That's not accurate.
$million.
What is accurate? Tell us.
Hey, Bitcoin itself has never been hacked. All the hacks have been the supportive companies, like the parking garages for Bitcoin. But it's never been hacked.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
And it was interesting, Benjamin mentioned the system they made. The US
He sure did. He surely did.
Bitcoin, because the Galactics we had a talk with that on the Candy Shop and he talked about a chip system that will go to eventually, after everybody gets out of the programming of we have to have money, and I want to explain that in my little part. But Bitcoin,
right.
I asked about Bitcoin and they said that is the foundation of this chip thing. Go ahead.
Right, and so $63 million was stolen from a supportive company, and the price when it happened was like $670, and it dropped to $530 overnight. A lot of things just froze up and stopped, and nobody was doing anything for a little while, and then it began to get released, and it started climbing back up towards 660 again, and I started getting lots of sales. So I'm making a little bit of a profit finally. I'm meeting a lot of people. A lot of people are getting interested in hearing about this. I mean, what was Benjamin Fulford and Cliff Howell on WebBox talking about the Bitcoin, and I didn't know until I listened to Ben this afternoon that there was a serious thing to make it to perhaps replace the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin. Of course, he's saying there that others are wanting to do a little bit different, but it's kind of amazing. I'm still selling it at.
I just want to clarify for everybody. I think now maybe somebody can clarify me. I think most of the countries around the world have their own money, and when they trade with other countries, they use a different money. But the United States is the only one, right, since we went to the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private bank, is we have the same money within the private community and with the trading, but that's changing. So what Benjamin just said, I think he said that we're going to go to a gold-backed, like a dollar note, like Kennedy wanted to bring, and then another one to trade with. I don't know. But anyway.
It's happening, and it's very interesting to study the newer, like Benjamin says, they're releasing this 2009 $100 bill, a little bit gold backed, and it's got a lot of gold paint on it and things. So I'm going to get back to that, but in case I get dumped again, I want to say, talking about living and being happy and healthy and connecting with the galactic, I am starting a brand new practice, which I'm going to talk about in detail on my show Wednesday, and you guys might want to Google this and think about it. I want to invite people to start the same practice with me, but I have started sun gazing for perfect health. So I'm going to talk more about that on Wednesday, sun gazing. Okay, let's go back to Benjamin and turn it in.
Revamp of the international financial system. The conditions are right and the Chinese could successfully pull this off, in tandem with U.S. military and the White Hat, by offering to trade all U.S. dollars in real-world transactions, not derivatives and related financial fraud, or a new currency within a 3-month window of opportunity. The Chinese military and Asian royal families are ready to offer gold to back this move. As the most dominant country, three small slave states of the world's 200 or so countries each go along such a plan.
Did she go again? Okay, it looks like she dropped again, Cynthia. Anybody?
Well, what else is new on the Lionsgate, my friend?
We pretty much described the rest of Benjamin, and let's just give a few more minutes. I'll just let her finish what she was going to say.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll bring my little part in. Remember last week when I brought those 2 paradigm phrases to you guys? What paradigm do you want to live in? And the first one was, and what paradigms are these? The first one was have, do, and be. And the second one was be, do, and have. When I said those, Cynthia, what felt best to your heart, those phrases?
Both of them, because that's why we have 3 completely unique nervous systems.
Okay.
We have we have the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, and one is to be, to do, and the have, and the other one is to have, to do, and be. They are opposite spins and vortices. They're reciprocal, yeah, they are. They're mirror images.
Okay, like so let's hold that there. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But right now, we're in the paradigm of have, doing, and being, and we've been programmed to get off of balance in our supernatural, natural way, and went all the way to the have, do, and be by the programming we've had. But that was good. We've talked about that at the beginning of the show. Everything is good. But now we know who we are. We're creators, and we talk about good emotions, happy emotions, positive emotions, versus all the emotions we've been through. You guys know them. So when you can be, did anybody look that word up, be, B-E? When you can be in every realm, and I mentioned the spiritual, physical, mental, and the emotional realm. So think about being in your life in your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional realm. Take this down and do some little, I don't know, math deduction on a piece of paper. You'd be surprised what you'll come up with. But it's also a pattern, be, do, and have, do, and be. But I'm talking about be, do, and have now, and they both are a pattern for creating. But the be, do, and have pattern, to me, right now, that's the transition. We're transitioning to that. So we're learning that. So as you be, and it's a pattern for creating something. First, you have to be in the emotions, your whole body vibrating in those emotions. You don't have to be, but it's the maximum efficiency, minimum easy way to do it. When you're in the happy and you're in relaxed and not worried, you're being in all those realms, then you can go do. Doing is even writing down a vision or thinking about what you want, and then having, it just comes to you. The universe brings it to you. So, okay, I'm a little jumbled tonight. I guess that's all I'm going to say. I want to continue on that theme. I just want to encourage everybody regarding the be part, the be paradigm, practice in the spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional way, and each way that you create for yourself. Like for the emotion way. Make a habit. It takes 30 days to make a habit. Write down 5 things every day that you're thankful for. 5 things. And then on purpose every day, do something nice for yourself, for others. It doesn't have to take money. It can take a nice email. It can take a funny sticker. It can take pray for somebody, wash dishes for somebody, something little. Even consider everything you do. My cats live mostly in the basement. I take them out for a special prize against a little leash. The boy has to wear the pink with the diamond. But they come out on the porch with me and sit. And they get out in the fresh air, and I consider that a nice thing to do for an animal. So that's just an example. You'll pass things by that you've done something nice, but you're programmed that, that's just an everyday routine. No, it's something nice you're giving to somebody. All right, I'm done. Is Candy back? Well, Cynthia, bring on the Lionsgate and all what's going on.
I think it's fascinating what's going on with Candy. If it wasn't so horrible and tragic, it would just be funny. What they do. It's just so, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into that. Okay, today is the Lionsgate. August 8th, 2016. The Great Pyramid of Giza is built for this one day when it is aligned, when the Earth is aligned with Sirius. Now, Sirius is a major player with the Earth, just like in a family where you have mothers and daughters.
Cynthia, I'm sorry. I just want to let everybody know that the room is open, so when Cynthia's done tonight, let's have a night of bringing in questions or comments of what Cynthia talks about, what you've been wondering, anything that you went through that'll help us. All stories help a lot, everybody. Okay.
Thank you. This is a round table. This isn't somebody presenting. And the more y'all share with us, the more we're blessed. It's good when we can all just unmute and just let her. And we need to, do more time on that, Liz. And more people sharing. I love it that you said that. The part of fortune on today, the part of fortune in a chart is the luckiest place. And today on the Lion's Gate, which is a huge influx of cosmic informational waves. It's like a floodgate. It's like having one of those computer setups where you can just work at many gigabytes. This huge download super fast. The part of fortune is at the place of orphans and exiles. So what that's saying to me is this Lion's Gate is focusing on the orphans and the exiles, the disenfranchised beings, not just humans, although definitely includes humans, but the creatures and their habitats. It includes the nature spirits, the elementals, and anyone on this planet, whether human or non-human, known about or unknown about, who has been orphaned and exiled. These ones are the ones that are being targeted by this huge influx of energy that's so powerful at this time of alignment that they built the darn pyramids about it. And there are, I just couldn't believe it when I looked at the fixed stars. And what the fixed stars are, there are these major players out there, certain stars, that when they align with planets in our system, kick ass. I'm serious. And when I looked at the fixed stars on the chart for today, I'm going, this is way beyond Harry Potter. Okay, you've got Uranus, which is, before I get into this, just first off and foremost, please, this is a disclaimer. anyone listening to this podcast, would you please realize, just for the sake of entertainment, if nothing else, that you've had many lifetimes, not just this one. And that you probably wouldn't be here on the planet if you hadn't had lifetimes as an astrologer, because that's the oldest science on the planet. So when I'm talking, if your conscious mind doesn't know what I'm talking about, because in this lifetime that wasn't part of the protocol, I think you can safely assume that in some lifetime or another you have had training in astrology. In fact, you may be one of the greatest astrologers that ever was. And maybe your conscious mind doesn't know it, but I'll tell you this. Your subconscious mind knows it real well, and so does your superconscious mind. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the three minds, there are many books written on it. There's been decades of research. There are three parts of the brain. You know, they hook up all these computer things to the brain. And there are three basic parts going on. They have different scientific names, but for the sake of simplicity, we call them the superconscious, the conscious, and subconscious. And the part that we call the superconscious, I'm not kidding you guys, this is just dry, old, boring science. It processes 400 billion bits of information every second. And so does the subconscious. The conscious mind processes between 4 and 40 bits per second. So what we're conscious of is minuscule. If someone offered you $4 to $40 and said, well, would you rather have this $4 to $40 or would you rather have $400 billion? You get a sense of what you're doing as a child of God on this planet. And you'll understand, at least I came to understand, why there's been such a war over us to control us. Because if they can control our conscious minds, they can utilize our superconscious and subconscious minds. And the rebellion to take our planet back from the brink of destruction and heal her and turn her into paradise requires getting control of our conscious minds back from the media and from what we were trained in schools. And that's why I'm here and you're here. Because as stupid as we might feel at times, as close to just jumping off the cliff, let me tell you what, we are the best of 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 the best, ... etc. Which is why we were allowed to come down here, and trillions of other souls were not. Because you know why we were allowed to come down here? Because there was a slim chance that we just might survive. Maybe. And that's why we are barely hanging on. It's one day at a time. We're hanging on by our fingernails many, many days when things are rough. It's that bad. Guess what it is? 3 words. Battle of Armageddon. Long prophesized. A major changing point on the planet. And we have the privilege of actually taking on embodiment and being here, but at a huge price. Boy, did we pay to come down here. And what was the price? It meant our hearts would break. If we're lucky. That we would go from conditional love to unconditional love. Because unconditional love is the ultimate weapon of self-defense. It will work where nothing else does. And the reason it works is because it's based on the original law of creation, which overrides all lesser laws, which is basically the unified field theory in layman's terms, that we are all one organism. There is only God. Hear, O Israel, our God is one God. It's the unified field, which means that all of our perceptions of separation, our perception of separation of the physical to the emotional, or the emotional to the mental, or the mental to the spiritual, our perceptions of separation in time and space are built upon a foundation of unity. And it's a lot like a tree. A tree has thousands of leaves. They come and they go. And oodles of branches, some very small, and the bigger ones, there's fewer of them. And then you get your trunk or trunks, and then you have the root system. And I guarantee you a root is not a leaf. A leaf is not a branch. But they're all just one tree. It's one organism. And that's what enlightenment is. It's a visceral, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but it's an experience so real that it's realer than anything else you've ever experienced of our unity with everything that is, including time and space. And this actually is a fact. When you boil down all the science and all the religions and all the medicine and all the philosophy and all the religions, that's what it amounts to. And when you boil it down, you keep skimming off the top, and you get it down to its purest, most potent form. It is called the law of one. And it's simply a matter of fact. When one is harmed, all are harmed. And that's why all the people who are out of balance have got to get back in balance. If you're out of balance in the light, where you're willing to sacrifice yourself for others, or if you're out of balance in the dark and you're willing to sacrifice others for yourself, harm is harm, regardless of how it is administered. And that's what the law of one states. When one is harmed, all are harmed, including the one doing the harm. And when one is helped, all are helped, including the one doing the help. And that will bring everybody back to balance. And the reason why the balance is so important is because we're all one. We are one with the dark, and we are one with the light. And we have to bring them in balance. because you can't have one without the other, because you can't have the illusion without the oneness. You can't do it. You can't have the leaves without the tree. You can't have the roots holding the earth and the photosynthesis of the leaves and the food that it gives to the environment without the tree. It's really just common sense. I figured it out years ago, and as I get older, I do more course corrections all the time. But basically speaking, if you were to boil down all the wisdom of the ages and all the science and the math and the psychology and even the military strategies of all time and eternity from everywhere, you know what it would amount to? And this is going to sound very irreverent, but to me, this is what it amounts to. It's common sense. My prayer on the Lion's Gate is that we all be blessed with common sense. Period. That we don't hurt ourselves to help others, and we don't hurt others to help ourselves. We don't hurt, period. We get out of hurt. We get into joy. So that being said, the 3 outer planets on today's date, which is a mucho importante date, the Lion's Gate. The 3 outer planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus transmits the programs of divine will. Neptune transmits the divine cosmic programs of wisdom. And Pluto transmits the divine cosmic programs of love. Love and will unite to create wisdom. And today, during this alignment with Sirius, Uranus is conjunct Altair, which encourages us in this new cycle until the next Lion's Gate to explore and be bold. It mates with divine love, or Pluto, which is conjunct Vega. It's either conjunct or parallel. I didn't write down those things, but they amount to the same thing. Pluto's conjunct Vega, which means that during this next year until next August 8th, our love, our cosmic love, is very charismatic and magical. Their offspring, when you unite divine will and divine love together, which was the Pluto-Uranus conjunction in the 60s, which created the whole hippie thing you do, which is squaring now, has been. They create wisdom, which is Neptune, which, of course, today is also conjuncting a major star called Rigel, R-I-G-E-L, Rigel. And that star brings knowledge to others. Well, that's not all. If that weren't enough, Earth is conjunct Psilocin, the fixed star that makes the energy tantalizing but very naive, clueless. Saturn's conjunct Antares, which is success which can be obsessive. Pallas Athena is conjunct Regulus. Now, Pallas Athena is an asteroid. It's a huge asteroid that is reflecting powerful information to our super and subconscious minds. And it is the part of us that is the warrior princess, the warrior goddess. It's feminine, and that's very emotional and very sensuous. But it's the warrior part of us. And it's conjunct Regulus, the fixed star Regulus, which is a big player, which is success if revenge is avoided. The asteroid Hygeia, this is the sad one, transmits energies of healing. And unfortunately, it is conjunct the fixed star Diadem, which means to sacrifice oneself. And we're seeing, a very few we actually see in the media, but the alternative media gets some of them out. But there are people out there risking their lives to heal us, to heal the planet. And they're sacrificing themselves. Like now they're afraid Eric Snowden may be killed. And I didn't write them all down because there's all these different parts of our solar system. You have the sun and Earth and Moon and Venus and blah, blah, blah. And these asteroids, they're conjuncting all these stars today. It's like a ping pong ball thing where bing, 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 all the lights go off. Everything hits. The other one is the North Node. Now this one is very interesting. It's conjunct Bellatrix, the fixed star Bellatrix. And when you're aligned with her energies, it's success through the shadow. And what that means is that all the people who are doing the wrong things are shooting themselves in the foot so badly that there's no way the light can fail. So on that note, Mare, are you in a position to read one? Unmute. Mare.
I'm here.
Is it okay
Hello?
with you to read one of these things?
Sure.
Okay, the one I want you to read,
Okay.
which is Success Through the Shadow, because it's conjuncted Bellatrix. And it's also, now, y'all, I'm not making this up. I can prove it. It's also conjuncting Mercury. Mercury and the North Node are conjuncting Bellatrix, which is success through the shadow, which means that those who are doing the wrong things in what she's about to read are shooting themselves in the foot so badly that there's no way the light can fail. It's like a Laurel and Hardy movie. It's like a comedy where the thieves just give themselves away. So if you wouldn't mind reading 14 Virgo, Karasa, the heavenly host of Karasa.
Okay, just a minute here.
Okay.
Okay, wow, I opened right to it.
Well, hello.
Interesting because
I love this.
about shooting yourself in the foot. I dropped a big, huge thing on my foot. So
Oh.
I join with all of those folks. I'm one of the foot doers, and we're going to make it. All right, so 14 degrees Virgo, Karasa, the angels of medicine and healing. Beloved, we protect and inspire healers. We inspire powerful faith so that a person's body heals itself. We show healers how to utilize means and medicines necessary for immortality and enlightenment. It is within our power to bring about indescribable effectiveness in healers and medicines. From the most traditional shamans to modern specialists, we oversee and bless each and every one whose purpose and intent is to administer healing for the highest good. Under our guidance are pharmaceutical companies and anyone who makes medicines of any sort for the highest good of all. When people are sick and seek aid from the heavenly hosts, we inspire them with faith to heal themselves or find and receive assistance from appropriate healers. When doctors seek right diagnosis and proper cures, we help reveal these. Medicines that we have to share with humankind are available now, so people may return to abundant health. These medicines can be employed by all during the time of heaven on earth, as people ask for this to happen. Because of free will, it is important that those in need ask for assistance. It is the will of providence that our existence be known, because on earth the need for healing is great and many are requesting help, even though we have contracts with souls of health practitioners before they incarnate on earth. We are often permitted by providence to do much more than we could do according to the original contracts when practitioners consciously relate to us in everyday life. Through attunement with us and the virtues of our name, any child of light receives inner guidance that overcomes disharmony and restores health on every level. Specific requests yield specific results. Whenever you request our assistance, specify your need as clearly as you can and remove all limitations on what you think is possible. Ask and ye shall receive. If you do not get the desired results, look at the request itself and shift methods. Most physical suffering is a result of mental and emotional disharmony, so the request should include healing in all areas. If mental and emotional disturbances of yourself or your patient are karmic or inherited, then specifically ask for healing in these areas and allow plenty of time for these causes to heal. In cases of environmental poisoning, requests should include healing for all contributing factors. An intense time of healing has come upon earth. Past attitudes of healing for profit by individuals or businesses must be abandoned, for all must follow the law of one. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. We are in the process of introducing methods of creating pharmaceutical products having much greater accuracy and reliability than current means that violate cosmic law. When divine law of justice are broken for any sentient being, repercussions are almost endless. The entire healthcare system of Earth is under careful transformation. Healing of emotions will be understood as an important key to spontaneous remissions as we inspire paradigms that unite mind with heart in healing and diagnosis. Reality is composed of more than just the physical dimension. The importance of emotional flow to what manifests physically and to the health of the immune system is getting more attention, as well as growth in understanding the spiritual and mental realms. Any approach other than a holistic one is not scientifically valid. We are inspiring healers and researchers with this understanding. We are bringing experience of oneness, the unified field, for each person who walks a path of healing self and others. As interdependence and oneness are utilized, both humans and heavenly hosts work together to efficiently heal all sentient life that cries out for help, and the crooked shall be made straight. By meditating on our divine virtues, the ability is gained to create medicines or bring about healing for the highest good of all. Karasa, we ask you to please be with us all and heal us all. 14 degrees Virgo, the angels of medicine and healing.
So basically what we're saying here is this. There's stuff coming about Hillary's, health, her condition. There's so much stuff coming out about how the GMOs, the vaccinations, the chemtrails, and so forth are causing a tremendous suffering and horrible autism and death. So the greed and the use of medicine and pharmaceuticals, known and unknown, to create death is coming out. It's being revealed. So this is successfully focusing people's attention on, well, if everything we've been taught and shown is wrong, then what is right? And that question, that inquiry, is attracting into manifestation the true divine healing and medicine which she just read. That's called success through the shadow. It's like learning what to do by learning what not to do. So my prayer is that those who are victims of the misuse of pharmaceuticals and the medical systems of the planet have immediate protection and grace and mercy and rescue. Whether they're human or animal or environmental, anywhere that abuse is happening, disguised as some worthy endeavor, because they disguise it. It's like Benjamin Fulford said. The White Dragon Society told China, they said, when you're dealing with psychopaths, they will tell you whatever you want to hear, and then they will do whatever they want to do. And all of our systems, educational, religious, military, medical, educational, whatever, has been contaminated by that. In other words, we were told whatever we wanted to hear, and then whatever they wanted to do was done. Now, I'm a victim of the educational system. I grew up in the 50s, and I remember well the torture of just going to school. And my experience of school back then was much better than what the kids have today, but it was too much for me even then. It was horrible. It was hell. And I was made to feel guilty for not liking it. But none of the kids liked it. And the teachers weren't happy either. And it's a form of torture. Most everything is on this planet. Unless you're working at a job you love to work, and you work when you feel like working, you're a excuse me, just about said an F word, excuse me. You are a slave. When you cannot rest, when you're tired, when you cannot do what your heart sings doing, simply to survive, you're a slave. A lot of us are slaves whether we live in penthouses and have our own private jets, or whether we're in the most humble situations, and anywhere in between. And this has got to stop. And on this Lion's Gate, as I was analyzing the different planets, I was so delighted to find the part of fortune at the place of orphans and exiles, because you can be an orphan or an exile in a golden cage, like Princess Diana was. and some of these people in the entertainment industry, where you have lots of money and all the bells and whistles, but you're scared for your life and you're doing things that you know are not right. So whether you, regardless of this situation in which a person or an entity is an orphan or an exile, it's very, very painful. And the part of fortune here says these people are being blessed at this time. Now, that brings us to the sun, and I'm going to read this one. The sun during the Lion's Gate every year is, at least this year for sure, I'll have to go back and make sure it's the same, but I think it is 17 Leo. And I just cannot wait to read to you 17 Leo. This is our alignment with Sirius. And that planet X, I think, is a binary. I think we are a binary star with Sirius. And planet X cycles back, like, I think every 3,600 years. It would probably be nice if you would just Google that. But
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
I just want to add, if you guys missed this last Thursday, Cynthia's call, and the Angels of Initiation, you got to learn about yourself through that. It's up on the YouTube. Go take a listen. Yeah, that was great.
Okay, here we go. This is 17 Leo. This is our alignment with, the Lion's Gate. These are the heavenly hosts of Odak. They are the heavenly host of cosmic divine love. And I'm reading here, this is an interpretation of Kabbalah. Beloved, divine being is love. Flowing love is the strongest and most powerful of all godly attributes. And love alone transforms all creation by the knowing that is brought about by love. Where love is not, there is stress, a great cause of disease and dysfunction. Now you understand why we read the North Node about healing. See, where love is not, there is stress, a great cause of disease and dysfunction. Love is the remedy. So today on this Lion's Gate, this amazing downpouring, a scientific, I might add, downpouring of divine cosmic love is the remedy. Emotions of cosmic love and feelings of cosmic love are the source of all alchemical transmutation. Love is the alpha, the beginning of creativity, and love brings the omega, the perfecting of matter, the beginning and the end, together as heaven comes on earth. When people want to heal the world, it is imperative that they heal their own inner worlds first. And by the way, y'all, hopefully tonight, or at least soon, I'm uploading the multiple personality integration healing form to the website. You can download it for free, and that website is protected. Google, we had gotten hacked into. It was pretty bad. And we got all these things about Google, where they were saying, you've been hacked into, blah, blah, blah. And so at great effort and expense, the site is protected now. And with the help of very loving people, it's protected. And we'll get Google to remove the warning, but it's safe now. But on that site, hopefully, if it's not tonight, it'll be hopefully in the next few days, you can download under the facilitators workbook section for free. Everything on the site is free. Don't worry about money. No one's going to ask you for money. It's all free. And if you don't have a computer and don't know how to use them, get someone to help you with this. But you can download the multiple personality integration healing form. Now, this is a exercise that takes a few hours that someone helps you with. You can possibly do it on your own. It's a lot of fun, but it will reveal your different personalities. It will explain why we have different personalities, the traumas that we went through that made us dig deep in ourselves and become different people to handle them, and how many you have and what they're doing and how to make them integrate. And it's an exercise you do in a few hours. But I just wanted to throw that commercial in there so I continue reading. Let me just go back. When people want to heal the world, it is imperative that they heal their own inner worlds first. Feelings and emotions of love heal, and greater love is the result of healing. Any imperfection on any level, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, can be transformed through the power of love. Humans are made in the image and likeness of Divine Being. Divine Being is love. When a child of light responds to imperfections within the self or in the outer world with others with love, not fear, not judgment, but love, miracles happen. It is true that in the beginning and in the end, all are one in awareness with universal love. However, in the cycles of life, between the beginnings and the ends, an individual believes self to be separate from God. When shrouded in the illusion of separation, a person can do nothing. Remember, it was written, I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within, it is He that doeth the works. When one desires alignment with divine will for the highest good of all, assistance from divine providence is provided. The angels of cosmic love and the beings of cosmic love and divine being of cosmic love transform emotions and feelings of separation into emotion and feelings of loving unity with God and with everything in creation, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This transforming divine cosmic love of unity awakens enlightenment and wisdom, spiritualizing the will, the mind, the emotions, and the senses. In the unity of cosmic love, cycles of time are surmounted. All timelines are controlled. All possible timelines are rescheduled into the highest good of all. All illusion of separation is dispersed, and the highest good of all is desired omnipresently. Then can perfect God in perfect form manifest in each and every child of light. In this state, there is no time between asking and receiving. This is an ultimate teaching and an ultimate healing. This is heaven on earth. Through the virtues of the letters of our name, we teach people the power of flowing cosmic divine love to transform the inner and the outer worlds. We, the angels of flowing emotions and feelings of cosmic divine love, were with you as you entered into this incarnation. We surrounded you in your prenatal development. We rejoiced when you took your first breath as an infant. And we are with you now as you grow in spiritual perfection. And we are in rapture as you experience the exalted state of oneness, excuse me, with divine being and cosmic love. My throat chakra has just been, I'm going to have to go clear this. So back to you, Mayor or Liz, and I'll be back.
Mayor, you got comments? Star 6.
Hi, I was just thinking of the angels, Odak, and just how powerful they are, how beautiful they are, and just asking them to be with all of us. You know, just for everybody to be healed by divine cosmic love is what we really all need.
Absolutely.
You know, why heal just one of us and not another? It really doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, and that's why I was talking earlier, to practice be in this new paradigm that we're transitioning, because we're in the transition. So practice every day. Write down or make a note in your mind. Write it down any time of the day. 5 things you're grateful for as you go through your day, and do two blessing rituals for yourself or others, and that raises. And I want to ask Cynthia, when she comes back, it would be great to end this call with calling in those specific angels she's reading now, and ask to bless us with love in every single one of ourselves and our body, because as we heal, love.
Elizabeth, this is Candy.
There you are.
Yeah. You know, the last time I called in, they wouldn't even let me hear you ladies. It was just incredible, the interference. But about love, you know, folks know that I'm a single widow, and I'm looking for romantic love. And we're a group of ladies talking here. But it just seems like the men out there, they don't want love. They're afraid of it. They're not interested.
Yeah.
It's just
we've been praying a lot about.
All ages of men are not interested.
We've been praying
anymore.
a lot about that. I think what's happening is, you know, how everything really, the whole power structure swung from one area to the other, and things, we really haven't learned the right way to be. We've been mind controlled, and I think we're just praying that the men get initiated, that they get the downloads, the initiations, whatever it is they need to heal.
Here's where it's going to go, because feminine women are magnets. Magnetism. Women, we got to magnetize the men, meaning as you love, as you work on yourself, it comes back to ourselves. You guys sit back and think of that. As you work on yourself and not worry about anything else, just focus on yourself. You're healing everybody.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you for saying that.
Well, folks on here know that, you know, I'm saying a little bit personally that I'm not on the Tuesdays and Thursday shows anymore because I go out to dinner with friends, but the friends are not interested in any kind of romance. They're just not. They don't believe that love is possible, and they find me a very interesting dinner companion, but you know that's where it stops. And so it's just incredible. And
that's okay, Candy. You just go out and enjoy yourself, because
I think
you're very unique. Candy. You're a strong, shining diamond. You're very unique.
Yeah.
Men men don't know what to take of it, but your unique half is out there.
Yeah, and we're all getting practice for the right one. We're still practicing with one another. So as you're like going on your dates, and you get to practice being the divine feminine in all those experiences. And that's really great. So you're just getting
Absolutely.
ready.
I mean, of course, I had my one, and he just moved to the other dimension. But it spoiled me so much. I got so used to love and just having love every day in my life.
Yeah.
So it's just been something else. But anyway, you're right, girls. I'm still doing that, but just and I was talking to a young man, and he just felt so sorry. He's heterosexual. He feels so sorry for this huge interest in transvestites and homosexuality and things like that. And the doctors are talking about how they're confused about why so many homosexuals have meningitis. So the men are out there at all ages are just really, really confused these days.
But not all men. There's men right up here with us, like in Diamonds Network Energy. There's men out there. We love ya.
We do. That's what I had.
Cynthia, you back?
Yeah, I am. That was very interesting. That was fascinating. I literally felt an arrow going into my throat, and I couldn't talk. And it was like Candy's phone cutting out.
Yeah. The most important thing is I'm going to ask you to bless us, Cynthia, if you humbly will, at the end of the show. I'd love you to do a meditation with these angels that you're going to finish reading and ask that, that love, they work on every single cell in our body, mental, physical, emotional.
Well, that's the whole deal. That's the whole deal with this alignment with the Lion's Gate. Is love conquering all? It's not anything else. Love conquers all. It is when we melt into love. In other words, anyone can love that which is lovable. Anyone. A lovable puppy, a lovable relationship. And by the way, the next thing I want to read, Mare, would you pick out one of the ones on sacred relationships?
And that's why I brought that exercise up, I think, tonight, because love. To get to love, unconditional love regular love is even foreign to us. So as you practice and make it a habit every day, do it for a week and see how you feel, and see that you can see your own thermometer of where you really are. Write down 5 things as you go through the day. Purposely tell yourself, I'm grateful for the grass, the smell of the grass that was just newly mowed. And anything, you won't believe things, and you can't say anything over again. You can't repeat. Write 5 things you're thankful for down, and do 2 success rituals, which is doing something nice or saying something nice, or something nice for somebody or for yourself, and see how your energy goes up to love, and see how you're seeing through the eyes of love even more. Cynthia.
Okay, here's the thing. We need to address this thing about sex on the planet, because that's where they're really targeted to get us confused about the sex thing. Because when sex is done properly, it creates a scalar wave. You hear all this stuff about scalar weapons and scalar technology. It can be used for good or ill. Basically what scalar wave stuff is it's electromagnetic energy working together. And electric energy is a slower brain wave in our consciousness. It's our will, it's our thoughts. The magnetic energy in our consciousness is our emotions and our sensuality, our sensations. And if you study quantum theory, you realize there's 2 realities. There's 4 dimensions in each one: length, width, depth, and time. There's 2 wormholes that connect the 2. The wormhole that connects our waking state with our dreaming state is our will. So whatever it is we're willing and dreaming and wanting is created in this other reality that we enter every night and when we dream or when we meditate. And then to bring it back into this reality, which is what I hear Liz talking about, you have to feel it already here. You have to have the emotions of it already here, that joyous expectation of a child, which is why it was said you must be as little children to enter the kingdom of God. You have to go into that state of childlike delight, faith, and expectancy. And when a man and a woman, first off and foremost, before I say this, a man needs to be complete in himself, a woman needs to be complete in herself. That's called the sacred marriage, when each person is complete, whole in themselves. And then once a man has done that and a woman has done that, they can enter into what we're going to read next, which is the sexual energy between a son of God and a daughter of God in incarnation.
Hey, did you read the rest of yours though before you got cut off?
I finished it. I managed to finish it before my throat went out.
Okay, good girl.
But what we're doing is...
And Cynthia?
Yeah.
The other angels, you asked me if I'd pick one.
Yeah.
The ones that jumped out to me was Javar, the angels of love and rapture.
Okay, do it.
And then after that, we'll take anybody that wants to come in.
Yeah,
and then
this is meant to be, Mary. This is really important. Read him, and then we'll all share.
And then we'll do sharing, and at the end, then we'll request Cynthia to do a really awesome meditations for each of us, where we can go in and work with those love angels that you read, Cynthia.
Okay, babe.
For all of them we read tonight.
Okay,
wait. This is Misty, and I want to be first in line to comment. My favorite subjects. So, wonderful show, women.
First in line to come share, you mean?
What? Yes, I'll share.
Okay, she wants to share.
Okay, so, Mayor, back over to you, Jabbar.
Okay, Jabbar. 3 degrees Leo, the angels of love and rapture. Please be with us all. Beloved, the rapture of love flows as an infinite ocean. We help you sail this ocean, directing winds of enlightenment with free will aligned with divine will for the highest good of all. Spiritual raptures and loving feelings are so powerful that they attract miraculous changes into every level of awareness, and especially physical form. Love flows when being, will, thought, feeling, and senses are harmonious. Enlightenment and inner guidance guide these currents of love. We inspire people to remember that as love is directed in beneficial ways by finely tuned willpower, powerful magnetism attracts beauteous miracles in all worlds of self and others. Love is the strongest magnetic power and therefore is the greatest treasure. To be wisely directed, spiritual love attracts amazing changes in the mind, emotions, and bodies of self and others. Always a flow of love brings about beneficial changes in all realms, including weather, and in behaviors and forms of all beings, including the animal, plant, and mineral kingdoms. If negative or wounded feelings run unchecked and are left to play themselves out in harmful ways, destruction is the result, like a powerful storm that destroys everything in its path. We teach how to heal wounded feelings with praise, respect, thanksgiving, and love for the wounded inner child who survived early emotional traumas, validating and healing these feelings and parts of the self. Just as a non-destructive storm can be very beautiful and brings much-needed rain, so too enlightened love brings great beauty and nourishment as it is directed through will aligned with divine being. Meditate on the virtues of our name when you seek to be blessed with love's magic and to bring it under conscious direction. The letter J represents the virtue of the highest imaginable love, cosmic love. We help you attune to all laws of sympathy and attractive powers and how to increase or decrease loving feelings at will. By becoming adept at cosmic love, a child of God encompasses the mysteries of love magic. In our name, V is the same as W and represents the virtue of cosmic unification of consciousness. By attaining this quality, a child of God learns to regulate, among other things, the water element, the motion and passionate flow of feeling. We understand the wonderful potentials of love. We understand the keys to triumphing through willpower and enlightenment. We know how to direct the energy of love into miracles. Call on us, the angels of rapture and love, when you need our help. We show you how to be as a mighty galleon, safely riding the heaving cosmic seas, directing winds of enlightenment with alignment of your free will with divine. Great is the joy, the exuberance, the wild freedom of love's mighty flows in winds of enlightenment and inner guidance. Javar, the angels of love and rapture.
And see, what this has to do with sex is that with the 7 chakras in a male or a female and the associated glandular ganglia, with every chakra there's a bunch of glands, okay, physical glands. And with men, they're alternating with the chakras in women. And when there's 7 chakras, the heart is the 4th. So there's 3 above. The 3 above the heart are your throat, your third eye, your crown, and there's 3 below, which is basically your stomach, your abdomen, and your bottom chakra, your sex chakra. And the heart in the woman is electric. So women govern love. But here's the deal. Love is the most powerful force there is, and it's the only thing that will conquer everything. So here you have men and women relating to each other in relationship, and the man is more powerful in the physical with all that testosterone, blah, blah, blah. And on that level, the first chakra, he's electric. He gives, the electric gives, the magnetic receives, electromagnetic. I mean, electricity goes out, magnetic pulls in. So he gives to the woman physically. She can bear a physical child or she can bear a metaphysical child. In that relationship, that's what she gives. That's positive in her and receptive in him. He receives the child, whether it's a physical child or a metaphysical reality. Then the third one up is emotional. So he is, if he's enlightened and not wounded, he will give emotionally to the woman. He will give her comfort, reassurance, love, emotions, beautiful emotions to the woman to zip her up. She receives it. And then in her heart, it opens. If she's happy, she'll open her heart. And a lot of women have learned to be martyrs, and they will open their heart even when they aren't happy. But the heart gives out a love energy, and it's the love energy that determines everything. That's the middle path. So the man receives whatever love he gets, and then from there it goes up to the 5th chakra, which is the creative chakra, where he's electric. So he creates whatever he creates, and then the woman is affected by it. And then it goes up to the 6th chakra, where she's electric. And that's the chakra of wisdom and knowledge. And so she sees whatever she sees, gives it to the man, if they're still relating to each other and not at each other's throats and he's open. And then it goes up to the 7th chakra where he's creative, she's receptive. 7th chakra is the pure being, the will. So what we're saying here is that we are asking for healing of everybody in every way because we've been trained wrong. We've been trained to be slaves. Our sexual energies have been confused. Our health has been compromised. I mean, it just goes on and on. We've been put in a system where people have to go to work when they don't feel like going to work, doing things they don't feel like doing. It's just wacko. It lacks common sense. And the deal is this, is that when harm is caused, it not only harms those being harmed, but also the sender. So they've been shooting themselves in the foot, and it's reaching this amazing dramatic head where they're shooting themselves in the foot like they always have, but this time it's becoming public. But since we're all one, they who are shooting themselves in the foot is a part of us. And we're conquering this part of ourselves with divine cosmic love, which is today the Lion's Gate. So I will shut up and let's share. Yay!
That was amazing. Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I mute out when I'm here, but it takes a minute to push the buttons. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that was just awesome, Cynthia. Thank you so much. All I wanted to share, and I had to write this down, was Cynthia, thank you for sharing about that, how it's important for people to be whole before engaging, and I think that you're absolutely correct. And there's a lot of, it says a lot about that in the Bible. But I wanted to tell you that Teal Swan, I was watching one of her videos, and she has this one, and she basically shares that one of the most powerful ways we can manifest is during an orgasm, that we're powerful creators at that time. And so it's really, really important that when you're at that point that you vision what you want to have happen in your life, in the world, and don't be thinking any negative thoughts. And while you were talking, I was thinking about when you're in a relationship, when it's all love and you're in love, it's like you're a power couple. And you are powerful creators at that time. I mean, you're in love, you're in that high vibration. But when things start to fall away and fall apart, you kind of one might fall out of that vibration. And kind of explains a lot.
Yeah, well, listen, if you'll go to my website, let me get off speaker here. If you'll go to my website, www.spiritussanctus.com, that's SPIRIT, that's Spirit US, and then another, it's all in lowercase letters, all run together, Spiritus, and then Sanctus, SANCTUS.com. There are, under the
and if you guys can't get that, her link is on the Diamonds blog too, just so everybody knows if you don't get that. Okay.
Go to the facilitators workbook page, and there's help there for when couples fall out of love. It tells you why it happens and what you can do to remedy it and how you can keep the relationship okay. It's really important to have this information at this time because we're all good people. We're all doing the very best we can. We're hanging on by our fingernails, male or female. We've been messed with really bad. We've been so messed with. And we're innocent. We're innocent, but we are crazy. We're insane because we've been driven crazy. And our parents were driven crazy, and their parents were driven crazy. And right now we're in recovery. And on that site, for free, and feel free to share it, there's beautiful music on that site that was channeled from the angels that has been scientifically researched. It has amazing benefits. Download it for free and make copies and share it with people.
Misty, you should have Cynthia as a guest on your show. That'll go with your theme, and have her go through this whole workshop, kind of guide it through. At least they'll have a call to be guided through, and then they can do it again on their own.
Yeah, but the bottom line is this. You're right. We need to be having orgasms where we use the energy of the orgasm to create heaven on earth. We need it for ourselves, but our children need it. Our communities need it. Our tribes need it. We need to have ecstatic, happy people in rapture, whether it's sexual rapture, whether it's creative rapture, whether it's spiritual rapture. I mean, the rapture of the farmer who loves his plants, and the plants are doing beautifully for him, and he feels the nature spirits, and he talks to them with his heart. Whatever kind of rapture there is, but especially sexual rapture, is very, very powerful for the manifestation of heaven on earth. I cannot emphasize this enough. Really, I cannot. I cannot emphasize it enough. So back to you. Go to the website and use the stuff there.
No wonder power couples are kind of like targeted. Like some weird thing happens between some power couple, and then it just breaks apart. It's very interesting. Sorry, I commented on that, but I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, it's just like candy being cut off tonight and my throat shot for getting an arrow. I mean, the truth is a two-edged sword. It cuts deeper than the marrow of the bone. They don't want truth out there. Come on. They don't want it out there. They want little boys to grow up thinking to what with other little boys. I mean, these guys are nuts. Back to you.
I think that it's very important that people work on themselves and their connection with their highest self, God, self, source, whatever you want to call it, Jesus, and make sure that they're whole and ready for, if they're not already in a relationship, ready for that relationship where you're not codependent and you don't have baggage and you're not going to trigger and that kind of thing. And I think that's, part of that whole making yourself whole. And then you, as you are doing that and getting wholer and wholer, you're attracting somebody else that is as well. And I think that in the Bible, when it talks about circumcision, I think they have it all wrong. What they did, I don't think it was ever meant to be what they do.
That's scientifically correct what you're saying. For example, they've proven that circumcision creates very neurotic reactions to sex later in adult life. And also this one Bible expert, I forget his name and I forget the quote, but it said that you circumcise in spirit but not physically. And what that meant is that you worship only God. You don't worship sex. You worship God, which is, it's like a spiritual circumcision. But then in the context of worshiping God, then God in man, seeing God in woman cannot help but merge in bliss.
I agree 100%.
But you're right. The whole circumcision thing is part of the dark agenda thing to make sure we don't have proper sex.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Let me send it. Let me say a little phrase here. You guys are talking about it. Reminds me. This is for you, and you. Imagine you talking to the Father. You talking to the Father. Two people talking together. That talk brings pleasure, and you're still relationshiping and talking together. The pleasure brings, and all that out of the talking brings pleasure. And out of the pleasure brings joy out of that relationship, any kind of relationship. And out of that joy brings love. So pleasure, you got to get to a place, emotional place, that's the thank yous every day and doing something, nice success thing. Get to that in you. And pleasure will bring joy, and joy will bring love.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else like to share or anything? Just star 6. Misty, you can stand by if you want. Why don't you pick a card, Misty? What number do you think of, Cynthia?
Seven is the number of love in Kabbalah.
And Elizabeth, I'm here. It's ma'am.
Well, Misty's getting a card. Anybody else would like to come in? Come on in. Star 6.
Hi, it's Sunny.
Hi, dear.
So much has been coming up for me all week, and then with this discussion, so much more is coming out, and things came up that I wanted to ask. I know what you talked about, Cynthia, about the man and woman chakras being, electric and magnetic, and all that's out these days about homosexuality and marriage and all of that, and people being able to make choices in this regard. And I mean, just how healthy is that? I mean, they need to just follow their own hearts and do what feels right to them. And they're very, I know some gay couples, and they're just very sincere about, and they love each other very much. And then I also wanted to address this, we're talking about self-love. And, there's so many different forms of sexuality that people feel the need to express. And, some of them are definitely we say they're unnatural and perverted, aren't really of the highest light, you might say, of recognizing God, Goddess, in each other. But if we don't have a partner and we wish to experience some of that in ourselves, then the validity of self-love, giving oneself an orgasm to raise the energy, to open up the energy. Now, how did that strike everybody?
Well, see, the thing is that we've never been shown the right teachings. We didn't see our mothers and fathers exhibiting it. It wasn't written in books. We weren't exposed to it in movies and media. So we're having to rediscover the ancient teachings. Now, I think after the event, the ancient teachings will be much more available. I've been looking for decades for the ancient teachings, and I've gotten little pieces here and there. But the whole discussion about homosexuality and so forth is very interesting. We don't have time to go into it tonight, but let me just leave this tantalizing trailer here, or tantalizing thing for future discussions, and that is when in 1978 a guy was helping me build my house up in the mountains, and he had been an orderly at Athens General Hospital for several years. His name was Dwight, and he was pulled down into the very lower bowels of the hospital for 6 months because somebody had gotten sick and they needed him to take the place of someone else. And he would hear these doctors just screaming at each other. And he didn't know what was going on, and, it was none of his business, and you're not supposed to ask, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what he found out is that during that 6-month period that he was an orderly down there were 6 perfect hermaphrodites born. Mm. And usually when a child is hermaphroditic, they will be more one or the other. But in this case, and this isn't all that big of a hospital, these 6 little children that were born were perfectly male and female. They had penis, they had testicles, they had vagina, and they had uterus. And what has been happened, what's been perpetrated on us, and there's a whole a group that's been going for a long time that we never hear about in the media, of hermaphrodites that are angry about this and want to be hermaphrodites and are happy to be hermaphrodites and are proud to be hermaphrodites. But what has been perpetrated on us is that when a child is born as a hermaphrodite, the parents are told something pithy, like, oh, he has a hernia, or she has a hernia, or she has or he has a urinary tract blockage, and we're going to fix it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. The parents are never told the child is a hermaphrodite. The child is never told it was a hermaphrodite. And there's this surgery done. And here is an entity who in utero chose from his higher self to be both. And because of this situation down here, was not allowed to manifest that. Now, in other countries, like in India, where hermaphrodites are born naturally, because they seem to be being born everywhere, quite a number of them, they're seen as gods. They're seen as gods, and if you study the history of it, just Google it, you'll find out that in history, if the crops were not good, if there was sickness among the herds, if there was political unrest among the different tribes or neighboring states, what would they do? They would go find a hermaphrodite and get that hermaphrodite to live in that village, to live in that province, to live in that area, and guess what? The rains would come, the crops would be plentiful, the animals would be healthy, the warring would stop. And so here you've got this whole third group that no one ever talks about, that is quietly being pushed under the rug of people who are both male and female. So you never know if you see a gay couple. You don't, and they probably don't either know, if one or the other or both of them are both. Now, when you surgically remove something, it's been proven with the, what do they call it? It's the phantom limb phenomena, where people are amputated but they can still feel their leg. And with Kirlian photography, when something is removed physically on an etheric level, that organ is still there. So these men and women who are really both, they may not know about it, their parents may not know about it, but etherically they still are hermaphrodites. And if you study the Nile River and all these temples along the Nile River and the gods related to it, you will find out that at the source of the Nile River, there is an island called Elephantine Island. And there are ruins of temples upon temples upon temples upon temples. Look it up in WikiLeaks, okay? That's where I learned about it, on Elephantine Island. And it is the temples of Hapi, H-A-P-I, who was a hermaphrodite who gave birth to all the other gods and all the other temples down the Nile.
Wow.
I mean, get a clue. I mean, when we get this event and we get told the true history of this earth, please have your popcorn ready and don't paint and hit your head.
We're telling it now. We're telling it now.
Yeah.
Cynthia, will you please, do you have time to be on my show on this Thursday? Because this is one of my very favorite topics. And I would love to talk more about this maybe this Thursday.
Let me check my calendar. It seems like I told somebody I'd do something Thursday, and I don't remember right now.
Okay.
Get my number, or just email me, and then I can email you back once I check. It's spiritus@mindspring.com. It's spiritus@mindspring.com. Just email me and say, this is Misty. Can you be on Thursday? Do it tomorrow, and then I can go check and see if I promise this Thursday out.
All right, will do. And if not, maybe we can
another time.
We can arrange another time anytime.
Oh, absolutely, no problem.
Oh, but this is I'm hooked because this is my favorite subject.
Rock and roll, girl, rock and roll.
All subjects are my favorite subject. All subjects are my favorite subject, but this is one near and dear to my heart. So, can't wait.
If when you do that, I'll be sure to be there. That and music.
Wonderful, Sunny.
Very much dear to my heart. Even though I'm pretty removed from that now, but not
well,
music.
we can maybe touch in on both, that and music. Because music is a huge, big deal.
It is, and it all ties in together because music is very sexual. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Understatement.
Major understatement. I'm going to mute out.
No.
Very tied in, extremely tied in together. I just watched.
Did you get all your questions answered, Sonny?
Well, not completely, but that was great what she talked about.
What's the other thing you wanted to?
Well, about the N word, about the self-love idea of having, bringing out one's own sexuality.
Orgasm.
My suggestion, just quickly, is get out of fear. Get out of any kind of fear there is, whether it's fear of another out there, human or non-human, visible or non-visible, or fear inside. Get out of fear, get into love, and trust your body. We have been really damaged in all our chakras, and our minds have been told the untruth, and we have got to discover our way back. And I would suggest just go in prayer and ask for clear inner guidance from your own divine immortal self. And what I did is this. I said, look, if you want me to do something, fine. If you don't want me to do something, fine, but please don't make me guess. Because I will probably get it wrong if I have to guess. Give me clear inner guidance. And then once I prayed for that and felt that I was getting clear inner guidance, I followed it regardless of what anyone else said or did not say.
Absolutely. Sounds
perfect. Just whatever your issue is, get out of fear and just ask for clear inner guidance and then trust it. And a lot of times the inner guidance is intuitive. A lot of times the inner guidance is impulsive. And that fear of, but what if I'm doing something wrong? Honor that part of yourself that's all tied up in knots. Respect it, validate it, work through it. And then realize we are the elders. We've got to teach these young ones. And they're going to look to us, and we've got to find answers to all these things. And sometimes we can find them in the ancient teachings or from other teachers, but sometimes it just has to come from within. And so my answer to you is no answer at all, but yet it's the best answer, which is go within and trust your own inner guidance. Thank you.
I totally believe
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
God is collective consciousness is a tree. We are the branches. The branches receive the sap, and the sap fruit just appears. Take that and meditate on that.
Tied up in knots, and unraveling those knots, and that's
unraveling those knots. That's the most important thing too. With practicing the gratitude exercise and doing something nice for yourself and others. It doesn't have to take money. Creativity, you guys. The most important thing with Cynthia's energy stuff that she's been talking about the last month or more is when you feel in these roller coaster emotions, just lay down and say, "Hi, guys, I'm here, and I love you," and then just feel that love, and it disperses or it brings you into it's just your own path. You'll go on, and the fruit will just appear.
Yeah. And Matt Kahn says, take those emotions and say the ones we don't want to feel, the ones we've been pushing away, the ones we're just like, well, obviously, I mean, there's a reason we do that. And he says, and I totally agree with this, is, hey, anger, I respect your power. I started doing that, whatever it was. Hi, hello, sadness. I respect your power. You're awesome.
Or bless them, or just bless them. Bless you. Bless you.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank them.
You know, and I've been going, I don't know, what do you think about this, Cynthia? I've been going through doing self-healing for years now. And I'm to a point where I'm sick and tired of all this programming. I mean, I see the big layer. I just want to, when thoughts come up of memories of, you know, like a kid or something I've gone over and over that, I said, hi, thoughts. I don't want to go into the detail of you. It just gives me the spin wheel, the monkey programming thing, and sad and all that. I'm done with that. We're done. I just love you so much. And then I just pretend I love them. Anyway.
That's absolutely right on. And if you'll read the books by Raphael Kushner or any of the greats with emotional healing, the great thinkers, they will echo exactly what you said. Emotions are the water element and thoughts are the air element, and they each have their own rules. And so get your mind out of it. Stop analyzing. It's exhausting. And when you do that, you cut off the emotions. And what heals emotions is flowing. It's just like water. When water is stagnant, it becomes poisonous. But if it can flow, it heals itself. So as long as you can keep those emotions flowing with love, respect, thanksgiving, and love, and just let yourself go down into the depths of despair. Let yourself feel angry. But your reaction to them is, thank you, anger. I respect you. Thank you, sadness. I respect you. That transmutes the emotion because you are allowing it to be felt, and that's all it requires to heal. Get the books by Raphael Kushner. They're not expensive. They're out there. They're good. There's a number of them. Raphael, like the Archangel Raphael, and Kushner, Cushnir, and you'll be reading about it. Exactly what we're saying.
What I've been experimenting with it if you give yourself 1 day, 2 days, a whole week, 2 weeks, and compete with yourself. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be happy all day long. And, you know, if I feel I'll either love the emotions or I'll say happy, happy, happy. I'm going to do happy. I'm only going to do what makes me feel happy when I think about doing it. Do I feel happy to think about it? No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, even if it ends up not doing nothing, I'm competing with myself, being happy, feeling it, doing it, or whatever. Anyway, I'm doing an experiment, so I'll let you guys know. And you guys let me know.
Hey, listen, I'm fading. I was up at 5 this morning. It's 10:30. I've got to crash. So let me just turn this back over to you.
Okay. Well, can you do a meditation, or you too tired?
Yeah, I'll do a meditation, but I need to do it now because my eyelids are dropping.
Okay.
It's been a very intense day.
Let me tell you your card real quick. It's Harmony, number 4.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. I can stay awake for that.
Okay, it is. The keywords are prosperity, harmony, and romance. You want me to read the description, or you want me to just skip right now?
Oh, read the description. This is priceless.
Okay. This is a beautiful card, too. There's a picture of 2 swans on the front, and this will describe it. So 2 swans, one black and one white, swim in perfect unison on the quiet stream, the flow of life. I'm going to be laughing through this whole thing. I love it. Everything you talk about, I'm sure. United by the wing of one swan across the back of the other, the swans, symbols of intuitive dreams and spiritual guidance, are in perfect balance and harmony. Neither the black, negative energy, nor the white, positive energy, dominating the other. Negative energy does not mean evil, all things in the universe are composed of both positive and negative energies. Behind them, a waterfall splashes musically into the water. Spiritual guidance and influence constantly pour into the stream of life for each human connected to the sap. We're getting the sap from the trees. If we only take the time to see it, a beautiful bridge arches from one bank of the stream to the other, symbolic of the astral bridge that connects the physical and spiritual world. At the base of the bridge can be seen nebulous spaces intermingled with banks, representative of past lives. These spaces act as signposts on the seeker's journey to discover his or her true identity and future destiny. Being whole. A dove, an emblem of messages sent from the deities, flies over the bridge, while along the banks of the stream are trees, strands of ivy, poppies, and other flowers. The flowers symbolize seeds of renewal all about us. The prophecy. Chaotic and restless energy and events are now calmed. A time of balance and harmony is at hand. Take this opportunity to redirect your life. Guidance may come in dreams and hunches, so pay close attention. Prosperity and happiness replace old patterns of melancholy and lack. Strive to create balance in your actions so you can ride this tide of good luck. A romance is near. And be sure, whenever you orgasm, you are thinking wonderful, positive thoughts and things that you want to see in your life and in the world. Oh, it didn't say that. That was Misty's advice. Okay.
Beautiful.
Create heaven on earth. So that was pretty right on for everything that we were talking about.
Yeah. So we call in the living flame of divine love, and we call in universal consciousness. And let us do 3 perfect breaths where we breathe in to the count of 10, and we hold to the count of 10. We breathe out to the count of 10 and hold to the count of 10 3 times. Take your time and get lots of air and oxygen, and then we will be ready to do our meditation. So breathe in to the count of 10, hold to the count of 10, breathe out to the count of 10, hold to the count of 10 3 times, starting now. We call in our divine immortal blueprints. We call in our divine immortal pure essence that keeps us alive, that breathes through us, that perceives through us, that feels through us, that emotes through us. We call in our original divine pure essence to be with us now. And we're calling in the original divine pure essence of everything on earth to be here and to be in all power, to merge with the physical, the emotional, mental, and spiritual of everything here on the planet. And we are asking for a state of cosmic consciousness. a state of oneness with omnipotence, with the original divine will of perfection and the highest good of all creation, original divine wisdom, the original purity of all ideas in divine mind, the original divine blueprints. And we're calling in omnipresence. We're asking this original divine will and this original divine wisdom to be omnipresent in everything as everything, i.e., the perfect divine blueprints and the original divine selves of everything. And we're asking for all of this to ignite like a bomb with infinite cosmic love and the law of one. For we are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed, even the least little creature. And when one is helped, all are helped, which means if planet Earth goes into glory and beauty and rapture and perfection, it helps all of creation. So therefore, in the name of who we all are, and we are all one with all there is, with all planets, with all realms, with the astral plane, the mental plane, the spiritual plane, everything that ever was, can be, is, or might be, because we are one with all there is, all that is in form and all that could be in form, and all that might be in form. We're one with all of this, and with all the powers that govern these things. We ask that the highest good of all happen continuously everywhere, because we are one with God. God is in everything, and it is our will as the one being that the highest good of all happen. Always. Everywhere. All the time. And we give thanks that this is done, because we are all one. And when one is compromised even a little bit, it affects everyone. And when one is helped even the littlest bit, everyone is blessed. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask that the highest good of all happen. And we give thanks that this is done, so be it, and so it is. And may this prayer be ramped up through the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient one being of divine love to the point where heaven and earth are one in the twinkling of an eye. And we give thanks that this is done, so be it, and so it is. And if anyone else would like to add anything, go right ahead.
And that was beautiful, Cynthia. I just say keep shining, diamonds. And I bless you with dreaming tonight. Dream on the true dream grid with Mother Earth in the Aurora Borealis in the North Pole. Keep shining, diamonds. See you the rest of the week. Love you. We all love you. Thanks, Cynthia.
Stay in meditation. Stay in meditation. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
No.
Good night, hon.
Good night.
Are you looking for healing or a change in your life to help you enjoy it more fully? You might benefit from a galactic energy reading and clearing from Chris Jacobs. Chris will work with you on a soul level to clear unseen negative influences, implants, programs, contracts, and energetic blocks. Chris Jacobs is a gifted energy healer. Contact him today at ChristopherStephenJacobs@gmail.com.